SGA once again. Little hesitation. The left hand. What a move by SGA.
Jackson, another block.
Chet Holmgren, the long arm of the law.
Back in the game. These are key minutes without SGA. And another drive. J. Dom cocks it back and throws it down.
This is Udart. You're listening to the Uncontested.
What is up, and welcome to the Uncontested Podcast. Coming to you Monday, April 28th. No Thunder game because they swept.
It'll be a minute.
I am your host for the evening, Jacob Niffen. I got my guy JD with me tonight.
Fellas.
I've also got Taylor Peterson, TP.
Same fellas as Saturday.
Yep.
Wow.
You guys just can't get enough
big
of us.
three.
As the great philosopher once said, F this big three. That's just big me. The dog agrees.
The dog in the background. Perfect.
We are brought to you by the Blue Wire Podcast Network and our friends at Prairie Artisan Ales. Shout out Prairie for allowing us to host a watch party this past Saturday for the closeout Game 4. We had an absolute blast. Lots of people came out. Lots of people had good beers. JD stayed afterwards and played some pickleball.
Dude, I was at Prairie from 1:30 to 9. About 9:15.
And I bet you had a good time.
I did. Pickleball's a lot of fun, and I want to go back.
Yeah. So you guys should rent the pickleball court at Prairie, get you some beers, play some pickleball, and be on the lookout for another round 2 watch party at Prairie. We're going to make it happen. Also, if you haven't already, you should subscribe to the Patreon. It's a lot of fun. You get extra content. You get access to the Discord. The Discord is an awesome place to talk hoops. It's like Twitter, but none of the toxic Memphis Grizzlies fans.
Just toxic Thunder fans.
Yes. I have been bullying the Grizzlies fans online, and it is a lot of fun. I didn't know cyberbullying was this much fun, but I'm really enjoying it.
Hey, Jaw had the Thunder figured out, guys. Thank goodness we won when we did.
Thank God.
Hey, you can also subscribe to our YouTube channel. Watch us live. I think that's a lot of fun. I don't know. I have a lot of fun. Maybe people in chat have a lot of fun.
Look at us.
Look at us. And then you can also follow us on all the social media channels. Gentlemen, I think that's all the plug. But JD did have a question, I think.
Yeah, there's if you're on social media, you've seen the can 100 men kill one silverback gorilla question going on.
Now, I want to make sure we're understanding this correctly. It's 1v1, and when the human dies, another human enters the ring.
My understanding has been doesn't matter. All the men can attack at the same time. My answer remains the same, and that gorilla is taking home the trophy.
That's right. Yeah, no, I've seen different strategies.
If it's 1v1 and then one person dies and the next person comes in the arena and you just got to go one-on-one, I think the gorilla wins.
Oh yeah. He's mowing them down like a lawnmower.
But if I can go like 10 rounds of 10, the men win.
I still don't know.
I don't know, man.
He can't handle all 10.
No weapons. No weapons. We're talking.
I know.
Just
no
straight
weapons.
up. You're going to jump on that thing's back and choke him out? Like
someone's choking him out. Someone's gouging out the eyes. Someone's just yanking his wang. Like
I'm getting turned into hamburger meat the moment I walk in front of this girl.
Here's how you beat him. It's a really simple rule. You go in, you beat his balls like a drum.
That's right.
It's the answer to everything.
That's right.
It really is.
I think Van Lathan on Twitter had multiple rounds, waves is what he was calling them, of different styles of people.
Yeah.
Groups of people he was throwing
at
out.
work today, we were looking up 2 things at work. Hope my boss doesn't listen to the podcast. If you do, what's up, Lindsay? We looked up 2 things at work today. Number 1, the strength of a silverback gorilla. They're trying to tell me a silverback gorilla can bench like 1,200 pounds. I've never seen a silverback gorilla get on a bench press before. Miss me with that.
It's benching boulders and shit.
And then we also, did you guys know you can get betting odds on the next pope?
No, that's awesome.
That doesn't surprise me.
You
But
can get betting odds on the next pope.
Can I bet on Contavious Caldwell Pope?
No. But there's one Italian dude named Pizza Bola, and I kind of want him to win it.
Love it.
Throw your name in the ring.
Throw my name in the ring. You got to be Catholic, and you got to be Catholic and a man. So no women allowed.
Tough.
Tough. It's tough out there in those Catholic streets.
Yep.
All right. Hey, hit us in the comments. Who do you think you would win? 100 men or one gorilla? Bryce says the gorilla would do what OKC did to Memphis in game 1. Connor B says he's got $500 on Will Ferrell as the next.
Make.
David asks if he can pick the 100 people.
Sure.
Don't pick whoever you want.
Jacob Niffin's hair says I've seen a gorilla get scared of a goose.
Uh-huh.
Now, 100 geese versus a gorilla.
Gorillas winning easily.
Those geese are aggressive.
The men, if it's just 100 random men off the street, the gorilla wins. But if I can pick,
yeah, it's like pick your fighter.
Yeah, but it's only NBA players.
Yeah. You know, in Super Smash, the move Donkey Kong does where he just holds his arms out and
that's what I was thinking of. Yes,
in the T-pose and spins. That's happening to me immediately.
That's what I'm thinking. He's taking out all 100 people. He's gonna bulldoze them. Anyways,
all right.
Sean says the gorilla would win unless Taylor reads stats for an hour, and the gorilla would say "F it" and end it all.
That's awesome.
Caleb, you don't get weapons. It's hand-to-hand combat.
Yep.
Give me Serge Ibaka. Give me Draymond Green. Give me Jalen Duren.
Yeah, Isaiah Stewart.
Give me Isaiah Stewart.
James Johnson.
Yeah.
UFC fighter.
Give me Amen Thompson.
That's a good one.
Okay.
Kenrich Williams.
Yeah, Kenny would scrap with it. Give me Lou.
Yeah.
1v1.
Steve-O.
Gorilla.
Steve-O could be in it.
Might be the only white guy.
Actually, Steve-O's a great one. He'd wrestle that thing to the ground.
Here's the thing. Zach Edey's kind of a bitch. So I don't want Zach Edey out there.
No.
Shay's got so much aura, the silverback might just lay down.
You might knock him out.
Might knock him out with the aura.
You won't be able to touch him. Shay's just going to Euro step around the whole time.
Yeah.
Obviously, Poku.
Oh God!
Oh my God! He would become a weapon in the
snap like a twig.
Yeah. Who else would be good in the fight? Caleb Green says Ron Artest. It's got to be current NBA players. I just don't know if there's enough dogs.
What the dog doing?
Ant could be a good fighter. All right, we've talked for 9 minutes. Let's dive into.
We're gonna get a hateful comment for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Give me Latrell Sprewell.
Well, I'll have to throw back.
All right. JD, the Thunder have swept the first round of the playoffs. It's only the third sweep in Thunder history. The second sweep in Thunder history came last year. We talked a little bit about game 4 the other night. I thought tonight we could dive into some bigger picture thoughts from round 1 of the playoffs. Let's start with this. We're going to start on the bad news, then we'll move to the good news, okay? What is one thing from round 1 that gives you a little bit of worry or pause for this Thunder playoff run? While you answer, I'm going to take a bite of this protein bar.
Perfect. If there is anything that would give me pause, I think it might be I don't know. This is so tough. I'm going to go with my gut and say 3-point shooting. I think I could say SGA, but I'm truly not worried about SGA. We saw what he could do in the playoffs last year. So I think it's 3-point shooting. In that last game, they shot 20%, 7 of 35. In game 3, they shot 34%, little below average. It's just one of those things where it's like, where does the scoring go? That last game was close. They had no jaw. Kind of feel like they should have won more convincingly. They didn't. Game 2, which was still a blowout, they shot 33%. It's kind of hard to find things wrong when you sweep a team. Mm-hmm. But if there was one thing, it'd be the 3-point shooting just kind of vanishing.
For sure. So the Thunder's 3-point percentage was third to last. Currently is third to last. of the 16 playoff teams at 31.3. Their attempts, second most, 41.5.
That's interesting.
So they shot a lot of threes, but they shot a poor percentage.
I pulled this up as well because I was curious with really all the players, but especially the role players. I talked about this here a couple months ago in the podcast about home and away splits. And for the playoffs, the Thunder shot 34.4% from three at home on 10 more attempts, which is kind of crazy, 46.5. Only 27% on the road those last two games with 10 less three-point attempts, which is kind of crazy. Also, I found this stat really interesting. The team only shooting 35.1% game one, that being the highest three-point percentage of the series for them. This was their worst four-game stretch shooting from three, shooting 36% or worse since like December. So
wow.
Maybe some positive context there.
Yeah.
It hasn't happened since December.
Yeah. Taylor, what one big worry for the Thunder from round one? If you had to choose one thing you're worried about for this playoff run, now that you've seen four guys, the comments are wild.
We're still talking gorillas.
Yeah.
Silva teed us up for this.
One thing you're worried about after seeing the first four games, Taylor.
Well,
you can't
hopefully-
take the 3-point shooting because JD already took that.
Well, hopefully round two, we aren't playing against a gorilla. I think we've covered that pretty well. I had 3-point shooting as my main one. But I think the second one for me would just be Shea's play. And this one's kind of complex to dive into. I think if Shea's making a lot of the shots that he usually does, we talked so much about this already over the past week or so. Some of those early shots, some of those mid-range shots early on are going down for Shea. We aren't really talking much about this at all. One thing Shea said post-game after I saw this after we got done, or maybe I mentioned it on the podcast we did Saturday from Prairie, but he mentioned, one thing he was proud of himself for is not shying away from being aggressive and still going and trying to get his shots and his points, even when the ball wasn't going in this series. But for me, it kind of felt like this was a series where Shea made more of an emphasis, like he's talked about throughout the season, of trying to get teammates involved, which is great. But I think in order for the Thunder to play their best, like we've seen them play at their best, he has to be a little more assertive offensively. And so what does that look like? I mean, we're going to get into some of these other players when we talk about the Dubs and the Jets, for example. But what does that look like for Shea when you're playing against a team like the Clippers, potentially, who have so many point of attack and perimeter defenders to be able to trap him, double team him? I want to see Shea maybe put the gas pedal down a little more and be a little more aggressive.
I like it.
Very fair.
I like it.
I thought Shea was kind of. This is gonna be very discrediting to the Grizzlies, but it did feel like Shea was just kind of feeling his way out and seeing
Kind of
what
coasting.
kind of coasting, kind of seeing what he could get away with, especially with the 3-point volume, attempting 7 a game. Sometimes just really jacking him up, like just kind of taking what the defense was giving him to the 10th degree. And you could be happy with that. I mean, if he hits more, we're all happy. If not, it's like, well, shouldn't he be doing a little more? Didn't matter because they were winning so convincingly every time. So again, it's another little nitpick.
I think that's fair. If I had one worry, oh man, I don't really know. I guess I would just go with the Thunder letting other teams get hot from three.
I like that.
That's a good one.
And that's kind of a concern from the regular season. Our guy Justin touched on this heading into the playoffs, but the Thunder strategically let teams, some of those less efficient 3-point attempts, they kind of let those role players on those teams take those. And when they start making them early, like we saw in game 3, game 4, like we saw against the Lakers, trying to think of some other 3-point, like some teams going off on us.
The Mavs last year in round 2.
The Mavs, right. Right. That's a great example. PJ Washington and Gafford, like it gives these players confidence. And I agree. For as great as a defensive team and perimeter defensive team that the Thunder are, I'd like to see them lock down on that earlier in games.
I like it. Let's flip the coin to the other side. JD, what is one positive thing or one thing that encourages you for this Thunder playoff run moving into the second round now that you've watched 4 games?
It's Jalen Williams, J-Dub. That was kind of my biggest question coming into the playoffs was, could he be a reliable second option next to SGA? We know what SGA is going to bring series to series. Who else is going to step up and do that? J-Dub last year was his first playoff run. He was not very good. He kind of came around towards the end of that Mavs series a little bit, woke up. But man, he's been amazing. Those all 4 of those games, he was their most consistently great player, I think. Really good shooting splits. I don't have his averages in front of me off the top of my head.
I have. Can I read them to you real quick?
Please do.
Yep. Okay. J-Dub played 34 minutes a game on average. Took 18 field goal attempts, shot 54% from the floor, only 29% from 3 on 5.3 attempts a game, 60% from the free throw line. You got to the free throw line 4 times a game, but 5.3 rebounds, 5.3 assists, 1.5 steals, 1.5 turnovers. So he averaged 23 points on 54% from the field, 23, 5.5 rebounds, 5.5 assists, 1.5 steals.
Incredible.
Pretty good. Pretty damn
Absolutely.
good.
My big takeaway, the thing that encouraged me the most, I also had Dub Silva, but I just had Dub and Chet together. And I'll keep a big picture because I think next segment we'll probably dive into more stats and we're giving out some awards here. But the thing that was most promising about Dub is, again, when Shea didn't have it or when he was off the floor, I thought he did such a great job balancing, facilitating, and also getting to his spots. He did a great job of pushing the pace and transition while still playing great defense. Obviously, he switched on to multiple types of players like we've seen all season this series. I thought all around, Dub just played a great balanced series. And like I said, like I've been saying over the past week, I think Dub probably could have scored more. But that's what I love so much is that he was so poised. Chet, the same thing. He stepped up in some incredible stretches there. Not always consistent for all 48 minutes of the game, but he had some huge stretches there in game 3. We saw it defensively in the second half, game 4. And we talked about 3-point shooting. Chet led the team at 42.3% from 3 with 6.5 attempts per game. Sean.
That's great. That's great to hear from Chet.
Yeah, my most encouraging thing. I'm not going to go super deep stat wise. I'm just going to go bench / defense. It is very clear that when push comes to shove, when it's nut up or shut up time, the Thunder bench players are going to be Alex Caruso and Cason Wallace. You'll see. It seems like the hierarchy of the bench is Caruso and Cason side by side. After that is Isaiah Joe, then Aaron Wiggins. So it's all wings. And when you bring Cason and Caruso off the bench, you're just bringing 2 maniacal terrorists into the game who are just going to make everything hell for the other team. They're going to be all over the place all the time. They're incredible. And they change the tone of the game frequently just with the energy and the effort they play with. I would like to see them get a little more involved offensively. Caruso's taking 5.5 field goal attempts a game in 21 minutes. Caruso's stat line is awesome in that 21 minutes. He's shooting 45% from the field, 39% from 3, scoring 7 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 2.5 steals a game, 1 block a game, but 5.5 shots. And then you get to Cason Wallace, who is taking 4.3 field goal attempts per game. I think you'd like to see that go up a little bit more. Shea's taking 23, Dub is taking 18, Chet's taking 13. You obviously want your best guys to shoot, but I think those bench guys can offer quite a bit. And as teams start to focus in on the big 3, it's going to come to those other guys to really make a difference. So the defense is very, very encouraging to me, especially with those 2 guys coming off the bench.
Yeah, when the team is having energy issues like they kind of were in game 3, you plug in Caruso and Cason Wallace and you no longer have an energy issue. They're immediately coming in and playing at a high level of intensity.
And we talked about J-Dub, but honestly, I don't have the stats pulled up, but the best lineups this series, throughout the entirety of the series, in my opinion, was when she was on the bench and it was J-Dub, Caruso, and Cason, and then you had one of our quote-unquote true bigs. Like usually it was Chet. I mean, that was honestly the best lineup the Thunder had, and we saw them go on those huge runs those first 2 games because of those lineups and those 2 players specifically.
Well, talking about players, let's jump into this. I thought it would be fun to do some round 1 superlatives. So I'm going to give you guys, we're going to move kind of quickly through these. I do want you to give an explanation. We're all three going to answer. I don't know. We can all three give our personal answer, and then do we want to come to a consensus?
Perfect.
That's fine.
Okay. We'll spend like 2 or 3 minutes on each topic. Does that sound good?
Yep.
Okay. So I have some superlatives, some awards for this round one. So I'm going to give you a superlative, and then we're going to come up with our player, and then we'll discuss and we'll come to a consensus. First superlative is round one MVP. Taylor, who's your round one MVP?
I think it's got to be J-Dub, like we talked about. There's one other player I really want to give it to. And I think you could argue his impact was equally impactful, but what J-Dub was able to do
was impactful.
It was impactful, equally as impactful as what J-Dub did. But he just
You're going Dub.
Yeah, great all around series.
JD, who is your round one MVP?
No arguments there. I'm going with J-Dub also for all the reasons before.
I think I will also go J-Dub. There's other guys who played great. But J-Dub was the most consistent from first to fourth quarter and from game 1 to game 4.
Yep.
So that's I think that's a great sign for the Thunder moving forward. So J-Dub gets round one MVP. It's kind of crazy to say that, and then you look at like Shea didn't shoot the ball well, but Shea scored 29 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists, 1.5 steals, and 1 block a game.
Not
That's
bad.
crazy. But J-Dub's plus minus was a 16.8, which is absurd.
That's huge.
All right. So round one MVP was easy. Let's move on next. Round one X Factor. JD, you get to start this one. Who is your X Factor of round one?
It's got to be Alex Caruso for me. He was sensational. He was like a wild animal finally released from his cage. He was on a minutes restriction, it felt like, the entire season. And he is no longer on that. He is no longer being held back in any way by lineups, by minutes. He was just a man on a mission and completely destroyed the game multiple times. And I'm really glad he's on this team and not any other team. And now Jacob
I was going to say Jacob's pulling the headband out. Yes. Love it.
I am also going Alex Caruso for X Factor. Just an absolute freaking maniac. Alex Caruso would beat the Silverback one-on-one.
That's true. He'd be in the Army for sure.
2.3 steals per game this series for Alex Caruso. Jacob, what was the crazy stat you tweeted out the other day about Caruso?
I will pull it up again if you give me a moment.
So
are you going Alex as well, Taylor?
Yes. Caruso was the guy I mentioned, I think, who alluded to that maybe was equally as impactful as J-Dub, even though I think we have to give Dub the MVP of the series. Just what he was able to do defensively. I mean, especially when the Thunder didn't really have it. He was so critical during that stretch in game 3, the huge 29-plus comeback. And then obviously game 4 continued to do a lot of the same thing. Diving for loose balls, getting jump balls, pumping up the crowd in game 2. There's so many moments that stand out to me from Caruso that were just so impactful. And like Silva said, I mean,
here's the stat. Are you ready?
This team. Yep.
Deflections, total deflections in the playoffs. Kawhi Leonard, number 1 with 21. Caruso, Josh Hart, OG Anunoby tied for second with 19. Each of them have 19. Okay. Kawhi, 21 deflections in 155 minutes. Josh Hart, 19 deflections in 153 minutes. OG Anunoby, 19 deflections in 168 minutes. Alex Caruso, 19 deflections in 83 minutes.
That's insane. All in only 83 minutes. That's one other thing too, Jacob. Like getting this series done is so critical just for that reason. Now you have Alex Caruso playing at such a high level. He's able to rest up for a week. Chet, same exact situation. Getting all these guys back and just staying healthy, coming out of the series fairly healthy is
well. And not only is it like getting them rest, but it's also like the more minutes you play basketball, the percentage odds of you getting hurt goes up. The Thunder don't have that percentage odd like that. That is low compared to like the Clippers or the Nuggets are going to play 2 more games than the Thunder did. That's 2 more games of chances to get hurt. So I think just the volume of basketball is also very important.
And the Thunder played 4 games, and that's maybe one other thing that's kind of encouraging.
And they didn't even have to play a bunch in game 1.
Right. Well, and the Thunder played 4 games in 6 nights. And against a team like this, like I can totally understand. I mean, it almost felt like a regular season, like a tough regular season stretch where you have a couple back-to-backs and like a couple days rest. You're not going to see that throughout the rest of the playoffs. And so that's maybe a reason why the 3-point shooting wasn't as great those last 2 games on the road. And you're playing a less, an inferior opponent. Like, I think it makes sense. But that scheduling still is crazy to me.
All right. Next superlative is round 1, moment of the round. This is just, there's not really parameters on this. It's just that the moment can be loosely defined of round 1 for you. JD, what are you going with?
I'm going to go with, and I don't know if this is cheating or not, but the lead in game 1. I want to say the lead, whatever it got up to, 60 points, 50 points, whatever it was. That was just kind of a grand opening, grand closing of the series. It felt like it was like, okay, these teams are nowhere near each other in terms of skill, and now we're going to embarrass the Grizzlies on a national level.
We got some moment of the series coming in the chat. You guys keep sending those in. We'll read some of them, and then if you're watching this YouTube video later, you should definitely drop a comment for your moment of the series as well. Taylor, what is your moment of the series?
I think for me, it'd have to be something. I don't have like a specific moment, but something related to that 29-point comeback in game 3.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a historic comeback for both.
Maybe
the Thunder
that first Chet 3 coming out of the timeout or coming out of the half.
I like that. I like that a lot. The Chet threes, and also there was that series there where Chet gets the block on one end, he goes down, gets the layup on the other end of the floor, or a jumper, he misses. Ihart comes in with the 2-handed slam, and at that point the game was pretty much over. And for whatever reason, like one like really fun play that sticks out to me from the series, I think it was game 1 where Kaysen just turns on the afterburners in transition, has a 2-handed slam. And at that point, the Thunder just didn't look back. So those are kind of 2 of the moments I think that stick out the most to me.
There's a handful for me. Obviously, the shade jumper to close game 4, the midi with the insane footwork on the step back, the J-Dub lob, which kind of goes in the middle of JD's like game 1 run. But David in the chat just hit mine. Game 2, Alex Caruso guarding Triple J in the second half. Triple J spins, Caruso swipes down, gets the ball, gets on the floor, wrestles, gets the ball out, and sits there and just screams his head off. Like, coming from a Caruso stan, like, obviously, right, I would choose a Caruso play. But that play was the microcosm. That play was the epitome of the dogfight that OKC brought to this series. To me, that's what wins OKC a title. It's not going to be, hitting a bunch of jump shots. It's not going to be some crazy 29-2 run. It's going to be that gritty dog. Like, I'm going to claw and bite and give your ass rabies during this game. And I thought that Alex moment was the peak of that. JD, you want to read some of the chat suggestions?
Yes. Meek Leak says the jaw injury. I mean, that was a pretty big moment. Sean says SGA swatting Edie. Was that game 1?
That was the beginning of game 1, I think.
Yeah.
In game 2, didn't he swat him twice? Or maybe that was game 1. It's blurring together.
Connor says Josh shoulder bumping Chet in game 3.
I love that. That's when we saw Chet that second half come out with vengeance.
Yeah, and David said Caruso screamed from the floor after stealing timeout.
Yep.
Sean says the Chet 3 to tie it at 99 after Caruso falls on his ass throwing the pass. Yeah.
Dr. Seuss over
The
here.
Caruso explosion by John. Smooth says AC had Triple J in the 7th ring of hell.
I love it.
Awesome.
Next one. This one's up for interpretation as well. You can answer this one however you'd like. The superlative, round 1's most whoopable trick.
Okay. I need to look up some stats really quick.
I'm going Zach Edey. He got his trick whooped the entire series, especially those first 2 games. It's like
Whoop
absolutely
that trick.
dominated.
Whoop that trick.
And he was better, and to his credit, game 3, especially game 4, a little more aggressive. But ultimately, I mean, we were talking those first couple of games of how do you even keep Edie on the floor. The double bigs, Hartenstein, Chet really just took it to him, and he obviously can't guard in space. So yeah, that's my answer.
All right. Taylor is going with the Jolly Green Giant himself, Zach Edey. Silva, do you have an answer?
Yeah, I'm gonna pick on Desmond Bain a little more. In
I
the
like
in the regular season, Desmond Bain averaged 19, 5, and 6 on 39% from 3, 48% from the field. In the playoffs, he was held to 15 points on 31% from the field, 21% from 3. The trick has been whooped.
That's a great one.
I love that. I'm getting mine pulled up real quick as well because I want to do something similar to JD. Okay. Regular season, Jaren Jackson, 22 points, 5.5 rebounds, 2 assists, 1.5 steals, 1.5 blocks, a plus 4.5. Shot 50% from the field, 38% from 3. You got those?
Yes.
Okay. Playoffs. Jaren Jackson, 16 points, 5 rebounds, 1.5 assists, a steal and half a block, 3 turnovers, a minus 14. Shot 38% from the floor, 27% from 3.
Huge.
They just he couldn't do anything
The
against
Thunder locked down on those two players, even
And
when Ja was healthy.
He's 6'11", 250.
I almost chose any possession Caruso was guarding him as my favorite moment of the round.
That's so true. He had him. Ooh.
Yeah, so it looks like the chat is going chat is going Desmond Bain a lot. They're going Zach Edey a lot. Trav's got an interesting answer. JD.
Chris Vernon. That's a good one.
I love it. All right, last superlative, round 1, best performance. You cannot go J-Dub because you gave him MVP. Best performance from round 1.
Who's going first? Me?
I can go first. I can go first.
Go for it.
I already gave Alex X Factor. So I'm going to go Chet here.
Damn it.
You can go Chet as well. You can have the same answer. I'm going to get his stats pulled up real quick. Someone's going to complain that I'm still reading stats. I'm pulling a Taylor on y'all.
Are we talking like the whole series or like an individual performance from the series?
I'm going whole series.
Oh, okay.
Chet had 19 points, 44% from the floor, 43% from 3, shot 5.5 free throws a game. I love that. 8 rebounds and 3 blocks. If you get 19, 8, and 3 from Chet on high efficiency from 3, Chet took 6.5 threes a game.
Huge.
Like, I love that. I
what you want.
love that. That's going to be huge moving forward. If that's the type of Chet you get and that's the type of JW you get, you're probably winning an NBA title.
Agreed. So I was thinking like individual performance because we've talked more big picture. So I'll sit with it. I think Shea's game 4, just seeing Shea round back into form was great to see. 38 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists, 13 of 24 from the floor, only 1 of 4 from 3. But actually what I kind of like there is Shea knew he didn't really have the 3-point shot going. So he stayed away from it. He was more aggressive, attacking to the rim. 11 of 13 from the free throw line, got back to the free throw line, and then defensively was back in form with 2 steals and a block.
I like that. You know what, Taylor? Best performance should be like a single game or something like that. You're totally right. So give me Chet second half game 3.
Game 3. Bingo. I thought that's what you were
Specifically
going to go with.
that third quarter where he scored 16.
Yep. Think that's a perfect
JD, best performance.
Yeah, Chet in game 3 was exactly what I had on my mind. 24 points, 5 of 10 from 3, 8 of 16 from the field. He was the reason. He was the kind of the capper on that big run to get him back into the game.
And that's what makes me so excited. One more week of rest for Chet to kind of get back into form, get his legs back under him, get 100%, even though he looked closer to it this series. And then hopefully you get a couple full games from Chet where it's not a half or a quarter. It's a full game of 2-way performance. That's exciting.
We got a lot of red panda
Trap.
shouts in the. We
Yeah.
got some red panda shouts.
Is the headband a good look?
It's a great look.
It's great.
Should I start wearing it to pick up?
Sure.
Yes.
Is it
You have to.
Ooh.
It is reversible.
That's nice.
Hold, please.
Yeah. We can go white. We can go black. We can go Nike swoosh. No Nike swoosh.
I'm wearing it backwards. Like
I know. I like it.
Yeah,
Like Caruso.
absolutely. You guys want to do some trivia?
Yes.
Do it.
We got some trivia for you guys. Hey, again, if you're watching the YouTube video after the live, you should absolutely drop your superlatives in the chat. We'd love to see those, or in the comments. All right, my guy Rob coming through with the trivia as always.
Oh, let me close my chat. There we go.
Shout out Rob.
Shout out, Rob.
The man.
All right, question number 1.
Oh,
Oh, wait.
Hold on. Yeah.
We got to get the Prairie thing up.
Whoa.
What are we doing? Trivia
Whoa.
brought to you by Prairie. Go
There we go.
Sunday,
Thank you.
Sundays, 4:30 p.m. Play trivia at Prairie. It's a blast.
It is.
Big fan of trivia. One of the trivia questions: can 100 humans beat one gorilla? JD, would you tell the folks what you were drinking at Prairie and how your pickleball experience went up at Prairie Artisan Ales in downtown OKC?
Yeah, I think I drank several different things. There was a new drink they had released that was kind of a mixed drink called Shay's Secret Stuff. It was like a blueberry and a clear alcohol mixture. I don't know exactly, but it was pretty good. I had a couple of those. They had $3 buzzer beaters and fourth quarters and their German Pilsner, and I love all three of those. So I was kind of cycling through this. It was a long day for me, let me just say.
Had to pace yourself.
I had to pace myself. Continued drinking a little bit as I headed into pickleball. Got a lemon slice as I went into there, which
That's
is
Justin's favorite.
one of Justin's current favorites. And then I got to play pickleball for a couple hours. You can rent paddles from them. You can bring your own. They have a speaker in there. You can hook up Bluetooth and play whatever you want.
That's
They
cool.
have a couple of arcade machines in there. It's a lot of fun. We will be going back for sure. And I did 2 hours last time, and that flew by because we were all just having a lot of fun. So
That's awesome. I love it.
Yep.
Go hang out at Prairie, watch a basketball game, play some trivia, play some pickleball. They have some board games up there. You can bring your own board games. It's a good time.
you can book the pickleball court online.
Yeah.
Perfect.
All right. Here we go. Trivia question number 1. In honor of, we're gonna get to this, but something that just warms my heart to no end. The Lakers are down 1-3. So this is in honor of that series. Who was the last team to successfully win a playoff series after being down 3-1? Last team that was down 3-1 and then came back to win the series. If you want to give me the year and who their opponent was, that'd be great. Do you want a hint?
I think I got it.
I think I got it.
Okay.
And we won't. We'll both be wrong.
Okay. What you got? TP?
I've got, with my handy dandy notebook, Lakers 2020 bubble.
Okay. JD, what do you got?
This year can't be right. I got Nuggets coming back against the Clippers. Did this happen? Was this a dream?
JD? The answer is the Nuggets over the Clippers in the bubble of 2020.
Let's go.
Look at you. Nailed
That was
it.
that Jamal Murray series.
That's bonus points.
Nice.
Question number 2. Who has the most rebounds in a single playoff game, and how many did he record?
Like all time.
All time.
Oh
Jeez.
God. Is this like
Think of somebody who rebounded the crap out of the ball. And then just give me a number guess.
Can we get is it like black and white era or
60s.
Oh God.
Yeah. I don't even know.
I love the chat throwing in their answers here. Keep it coming, guys.
60s.
Back when they
Man.
played against plumbers, electricians.
I
I just
Give me 100 plumbers against the Silverback.
don't even know who
do
played
they
in the
get
60s.
plungers?
Huh?
Do they have plungers with them?
No weapons.
Is a plunger a weapon?
Could be. You use it right.
All right, here we go.
It'd be multiple things if you use it right.
Yeah,
All right, what do you got?
I said Bill Russell,
Oh, that's a good
32.
one. I said Oscar with 32. I don't know.
The answer is Wilt.
Taylor, you got some
Wilt.
kind of demonic symbol written down there?
No, I had to cross out my Jokic answer because you said it was it was from the 60s.
Wilt had 41 rebounds in
Oh
1967.
my God.
That's crazy.
Question 3. Which OKC player has the most rebounds in a single playoff game, and how many rebounds was it?
That's tough.
There haven't been that many like.
It's in the OKC era.
Mm-hmm.
Most rebounds in a playoff game. Who is it, and how many did they have?
Oh God.
I'm torn on this
I'm
one.
torn. I don't know. I'm just gonna go for it.
Who sings that song, Torn? I can tell is torn.
I don't know.
You're a little late.
I don't know either.
I'm already here. Taylor's going Russ with 20. Chat, let me know what that song is.
Damn it. Steven Adams, 19.
I was thinking
Ooh.
Surge as well.
The number is 19.
Ooh.
The player, Kevin Durant.
Oh,
KD. I wouldn't have gotten that one.
2010.
Would not have gotten that
2010.
one.
Thank you, chat. Natalie, something I can't. Ambrogia?
Imbruglia. Imbruglia? Yeah, I don't know.
All right. Let's take a break. On the other side, we are going to look ahead just a little bit at the upcoming Thunder series in round 2. And then we are going to take a quick trip around the association. We will be right back. And we are back. Gentlemen, we're going to move pretty quickly through this.
yes.
Because we don't know who's going to be in round 2 yet. We had an insane ending to game 4 of Clippers Nuggets with an Aaron Gordon tip dunk. Literally, like as the buzzer was going off, series is tied up 2-2. Thunder getting at least 7 days of rest. JD,
Yes.
if you got to pick which of these two teams would be headed to Oklahoma City in the next 7 to 9 days, who would you pick?
Between Nuggets and Clippers.
Yes.
Which do I want or which do I predict? If I'm predicting, I'm going-
If you had the power to say this team is coming to OKC to start a 7-game series, which team are you choosing?
I would 10 times out of 10 pick the Nuggets. I would rather see the Nuggets over the Clippers right now. I think
Interesting.
they're-
Taylor,
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
are you going Clippers? Or are you going Clippers or Nuggets?
Famous last words when you have Nikola Jokic on the opposing team, but I agree with Sola. I think ultimately it comes down to they're playing 5, 6, sometimes 7 players depending on injuries,
Yep.
and they're battling injuries and with players currently active. So for that, give me the Nuggets.
I would
There might be
also
a fight
like.
happening right now in the NBA.
Say it
Ooh,
again.
A
There might be
fight,
a fight happening.
another fight, another live pod fight, 2 for 2.
Who's fighting?
I don't know. Our chat's saying fight everywhere in our Discord and in here.
We got another fight live on the pod.
Folks,
This
who's
is amazing.
fighting?
Is it
It's
Dylan,
Dylan
Brooks?
Brooks. Dylan Brooks
Oh.
and who?
Who's he going after?
Come on.
Oh, Draymond. No way. Approximate foul on Draymond. Oh, I don't know. Let's see. I don't know. I can't find it now. Draymond decked Amon. Steph talking trash to Dylan. So
All right.
Little,
Well, we'll get to
kerfuffle.
it.
Yeah, we'll get to
We'll
it.
get to it. Okay. Well, apparently, we need to podcast more often. Fights keep happening.
I know, man.
You both, all 3 of us said if we could choose, it would be Denver. Who do you
Oh, here we
think
go. I
it's
got
going to
it.
be?
The Clippers.
Agreed.
I kind of think it's going to be Denver, guys.
You did have them in your predictions.
I kind of think it's going to be Denver.
Also,
Whoa.
Brooks hip checked Steph when he was on the ground. Curry appeared to taunt him with the number 2, referencing his second foul. Then Brooks approached Curry, and Draymond immediately jumped in, and the pushing and shoving ensued. But apparently, before that, I think Draymond like pushed or got into it with Almond.
Oh, okay. I keep thinking you're saying almond,
Almonds.
like the nut.
Like
Yeah.
almond joy.
Almond
Almond
milk,
Joy.
almond joy.
Um,
Almond is in like amen.
let's we're gonna do a full series preview pod for round 2, and we'll dive deep into both of these, or one of these two teams and the matchups. But I wanted to touch on just one thing I've been thinking of and get you guys' thoughts real quick. I personally think that whoever the Thunder matches up against in the second round is going to... There's 2 starting lineups. The Thunder should use one starting lineup against one team and a different starting lineup against the other. I feel pretty strongly. I don't know if Mark would do it. If it's the Clippers, I think the Thunder should go one big with Chet and throw Kaysen Wallace or Alex Caruso in the starting lineup. It would probably be Kaysen.
Agreed.
That would make the defensive matchups Chet on Zoo, Dub on Kawhi, Lou on Harden, Queso on Powell, and Shea on Dunn. And I think that's the best matchups across the board, especially Chet's pick and pop is going to force Zoo to come out of the paint.
Agreed.
If
And Chet only played the Clippers one time before his injury, but had 10 points, 14 rebounds, and 1 block.
Flip side, if it's the Nuggets, I really, really think it should be the 2 big lineup with Hartenstein guarding Jokic, Chet guarding Aaron Gordon, and then just use that size and that length and that versatility to just swarm Jokic and force him to throw bad passes. So I think it's going to be really fascinating. I don't know if Mark will go with the 2 bigs against the Clippers or not, but I think that is in their best interest.
I like those matchups across the board. I think one thing that obviously takes away if you were going with Kaysen or Caruso in the starting lineup is you don't have both of them coming in off the bench, which I know Mark really likes. But I could see that being a point of frustration for us fans watching the first couple of games of the series where Mark's starting the double bigs against the Clippers, and we want to see Kaysen back in that starting lineup because they were so great. Or obviously AC, like we saw them close with AC with the starters instead of the double bigs. I like that a lot, Jacob.
I think, and Silva, real quick, just to get your thoughts on this, I actually think the double big against the Clippers could work.
Yeah.
Especially defensively. What that changes is it puts SGA on Powell, which I don't know if I love. The other matchups stay the same. SGA goes to Powell. Chet goes to Chris Dunn. And then you just ignore Chris Dunn, and Chet plays free safety, roamer, weak side rim protector.
That's true. That's a good
point. And then if Chris Dunn hits threes and beats you, Chris Dunn hits threes and beats you.
That's kind of why ultimately I'm okay. I would favor the Thunder in either matchup. I would just rather see the Nuggets, but what you just described, the Thunder have so many methods to dissect either of these teams, and they have so many different advantages they can create.
And in that Clippers series, the Harden Zubats pick and roll is like bread and butter for them. If Hartenstein is guarding Zoo, he can almost, like, maybe not blitz the screen, but play at the level of the screen to prevent Harden from getting that corner. And when Zoo rolls to the basket, you have Chet swinging off that weak side, which means the open pass is to a Chris Dunn on the weak side.
Right.
And I'm okay with an open pass hitting Chris Dunn on the weak side.
Agreed. And we talked about the Thunder being willing to, from a stat standpoint, being willing to leave certain players open from 3, give up some of those shots in order to be able to defend at a high level elsewhere. I think that's a good point. But really quickly, one question I have for both of you guys that I've been thinking about with the double big lineup, especially, I think about Hartenstein, and it's hard to say that you should like play through another player more or give these players more opportunities when you have Chet and Dub and Shea on the floor. But I think the Thunder saw so much success when they played through Hartenstein throughout the majority of the regular season, especially when Chet was hurt. I'd like to see that a little more, especially to your point, Jacob, if they do go double big, regardless of the opponent.
Absolutely. It's going to be interesting. And I don't think it's quote unquote playing through Hartenstein. I think it's just letting Hartenstein kind of initiate some stuff and playing a more holistic style of basketball.
Clippers looking pretty scary. With that being
Yeah.
said, the Clippers have been looking. If it's like the biggest caveat in the world in the playoffs, is Kawhi going to be healthy? If so,
If
I mean,
so,
he
it's
could be
scary.
the best
But
player in the series.
I know I say this a lot, and I know it's redundant, and maybe this time it's not true. What you have to stop against the Clippers, I don't know if you stop versus slow down, but it's Harden and Kawhi. Of the teams left in the Western Conference playoffs, is there any other team more equipped to guard those guys than the Thunder?
The Timberwolves, maybe.
Maybe the Wolves, but I
And-
still would pick the
and
Thunder.
I mean, the Wolves have Ant, they have Jaden McDaniels. Who else are you throwing at those two?
Nah,
Yeah, I don't love that.
no.
I think the Rockets, you can throw a man, you can throw
I should've
Dylan
said them-
Brooks.
I should have said them first. To me.
Tari Eason.
Tari Eason could maybe guard Kawhi for stretches. The Thunder have Dub and Dort to start there. Then they have Caruso and Kaysen coming off the bench who can guard those two. I actually really like those matchups. Caruso on Kawhi, Kaysen on Harden. I think that's like a really good matchup for the Thunder. And then the rim protection. I kind of like the Thunder matchup there.
So I know we do need to move on, but we've talked a lot with these two matchups, and rightfully so, because this is what the Thunder have hung their hat on, and the reason they swept this series against the Grizzlies is their defense. But the other side of the ball. So I think the reason, not to speak for you, but the reason you and I probably picked the Clippers is because the Clippers do present more matchups, more challenges on the defensive side of the ball, and more players who can guard and double team a Shea and make guys like Dub
Clippers are
and
so
Chet
much
tough.
better defensively than the Nuggets. It's not fun.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So, all right. Take a trip around the association before we get out of here. Speaking of Kawhi,
I don't even know where you're sitting at.
Sometimes I'm worried my Sounders won't play because my mic disconnected for a minute earlier. I always have a fear that when I come back, there's gonna be a moment like that where it's like, Silva, do the Sounder, and
We all just sit
and
here in
nothing happens.
silence.
because I can always hear it, but you guys may not be able to.
It worked. You
Hey.
did it.
the homie Thunder Chick put together a graphic for us. Shout out Thunder Chick. Here's that graphic.
That looks so nice.
Awesome.
It looks
graphic.
awesome. If you are listening and not watching, I will read the graphic to you.
Hey,
It is all of our round one predictions. Here's the way the scoring works. If you get the winning team wrong, 0 points. If you get the winning team of the series right, 1 point. If you get the winning team of the series right and the number of games right, 3 points. This graphic is not updated quite yet because Cleveland did win tonight. But round one, I was the only one who took OKC in 4. Cowards. The rest of them took OKC in 5. I am up 3-1. We go to the other side of the bracket, or the other conference. JD, Taylor, and I, the 3 smart ones on the pod tonight, took Cleveland in 4. The 2 Texas boys took Cleveland in 5. So we all got 3 points there tomorrow.
So
Or 3
JD
points
and
there.
I
3
are
points
at
there today.
4 apiece, and
I'm at
Jacob is
6.
now at 6. Well done.
And Nick and Justin are at 2.
Loser.
Let's stay on the East. JD and Nick took Boston in 4. Me, Justin, and Taylor took Boston in 5. Taylor, how you feeling?
Feeling pretty good.
I think Boston closes it out at home.
I do too. Another 3 for the good guys.
All right. Another East series. Everyone took the Knicks in 6. Knicks in 6. Except me. I took
So
Knicks
catchy.
in 5. You guys feeling good about Knicks in 6? You think Detroit's going to go steal one in the Garden again in Game 5?
I don't know.
I don't know either. That's a coin toss for me.
It doesn't feel like Detroit has enough gas late in games.
Mhm.
Yeah.
They're heavily reliant upon Dennis Schroeder. I was at the gym doing my treadmill stuff, and I was just watching the final quarter of that last Knicks Pistons game.
Mhm.
And the Pistons
It's
have
ugly.
so much good stuff, but they just don't have quite enough answers in the late
in the
game.
clutch.
I feel good about my Knicks in 5 pick. I want Detroit to win Game 5.
Another fight. What?
Heck yeah.
Have to pull it
Really?
up. This
Well,
is amazing.
we'll watch the fights later. Let's finish. We're almost done here. Last East Series, Indiana versus Milwaukee. Justin, Taylor, and Nick took Indy in 7. JD and I took Indy in 6. Taylor, you think it's going 7?
No. Pistons, especially with no Dame. Like, what a disappointment.
JD, you think it's
This
going
one
6?
goes out. This one goes out to my favorite player for a long period of time, Damian Lillard. You had a wonderful career. Loved you for a long time. You restarted the Thunder's. You started the rebuild, I should say. You blew out your Achilles, brother. I'm sorry. Get your
Beautiful
money
eulogy.
and go retire.
Trade Giannis.
Sylvie, you think it's going 6, or is it done next game?
It's done next game.
I think I agree with you. It's done next time. Yeah, it sounds like Draymond's kicking people. What's new? Let's go back to the West. This Houston Golden State game where everyone's fighting. Taylor and Nick took. Oh, wait. This one's all over the place. Nick took Dubs in 7. Taylor and I, both took Houston in 7. Justin took Houston in 5. JD took Houston in 6. Does anybody feel good here?
No, I felt like I was maybe huffing paint before I made that prediction.
Justin's
no,
pick is wild.
I don't really feel great about that.
It's a 1-point game with about 3 minutes until halftime. This could go either way. Kind of crazy.
I like my Houston in 7 pick for what it's worth.
Houston has similar issues to Detroit, where late in games it's like, I don't know what the hell's going to happen.
No half-court offense. Oh, I love this next one.
Oh, damn it. That'd be crazy.
Lakers mini.
Yeah.
Everyone took Lakers in 6. I took Minnesota in 7. You guys aren't feeling good at all.
Not at all.
I'm not feeling good because I think it's Minnesota in 5.
Which would be crazy.
I think they're going to go to crypto.com arena, and I think they are going to beat the Lakers balls like a drum. No, in all honesty, I think Minnesota probably closes out on Game 6.
Yep.
I need to get a
You get a
drum
point.
sounder.
You get a point for it.
Last one, Clippers Nugs. This one's kind of all over the place. JD and Justin both took Clippers in 6. I took Nuggets in 6. Nick took Nuggets in 7. Taylor took Clippers in 7. Who's feeling good about this pick right now?
I feel pretty decent given we're all tied up, but it took a buzzer beater.
JD, how do you feel about Clippers in 6? Are you feeling good about that right now?
2-2 right now. They have to win the next 2. I feel fine about that. That could still happen.
I feel fine about mine too. And I have Denver in 6.
Yeah.
The series could go either way. Yeah,
absolutely.
Part
Fun
of me
series.
is like, we're having some first world NBA problems here because it's like, well, our series, the Thunder series, is already over, and they didn't really struggle all that much. And we're looking around, everyone else is like in the trenches fighting wars, and it's like, is that going to be an issue when these games actually start to become tough and close to the Thunder? Probably not. But
Yep. Awesome. Hey, we get out of here in under an hour, JD.
hey, how about that?
Look at us. Who would have thought? Hey, thank you guys for tuning in to the Uncontested. We really appreciate you. Thunder may be off for a week. Are we off for a week? Don't know. We haven't talked about it. We'll let you know. But enjoy some playoff basketball. You can expect a series preview pod from us once the Clippers versus Nuggets series is completed and we know who the Thunder will be playing. That one will be an absolute blast to record. Make sure you come hang out with us. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you haven't already, sub to the YouTube channel, join the Patreon, follow us on all the social media accounts that we have. We will talk to you guys maybe Wednesday. We'll see. We'll let you know. Until then, and as always, Thunder up.